Okay, so I'm going to change our oil return tubes, which is these parts here, here, and then we've got two more on this side. Now, years ago, the way that you used to have to change these was to actually pull the entire cam box off to change the oil return tube. So we've had collapsible tubes for a long time now. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to clean around where they go into the case, because when I pull them out, I don't want to contaminate, have any dirt fall into the engine. So just using some cleaner, scrubbing down around the area where they go into the cam box on both sides. And then I'm going to get up here around the engine case as well. Okay, when it comes to pulling these out, all I'm going to do is take a pair of pliers and I'm just going to collapse them and then kind of roll it. Just so it kind of gets that set into it, like that. Once I've got them collapsed, they'll usually be fairly loose. I just take my pry bar, just pull them out, like that. So I'm just taking my shop towel and wiping around each area where it goes in. I want to make sure that it's nice and clean and it's not going to drag any dirt into the engine.
Now you doing this on an engine stand today, but you can do it inside the car?
Yep, you can do these in the car with no problems whatsoever. You're just going to be either laying underneath it, the car's going to have to be jacked up, or if you have it up onto a rack, the engine does not need to be out to do these. Okay, so I have my expandable oil return tubes. The only ones I use are the Porsche ones, whether they're an OEM Porsche or an original. I'm going to assemble my O-rings on. There are a couple of aftermarket ones out there made out of aluminum, biggest pieces of junk I've ever used, and have thrown more of them in the trash. These have been by far better. So I need to put my circlip on. And the circlip is what's going to help keep everything expanded out into place. And what I want to do is get it over the tube and slide it down and leave it like right there. And I need to put on my two sealing O-rings. Like that. And then I want to make sure these are well lubricated, because we need this to slide. If it doesn't slide easily, then it's going to be a battle to install. So you want them to move really nice and freely. Now when I go to install this, these do have a right and a wrong way. We want the outer portion right here to install into the engine case. And this is so when the cylinder head is draining back, it doesn't sit up against inside on that pipe. It doesn't sit up against the O-rings. It's able to run back and drain into the case. So I want to make sure that's there. I'm going to move my circlip so it's closer, so it's easier for me to deal with when it's all in and assembled. Okay, lots of lube. Okay, so there it is, ready to install. Okay, so when I'm installed, I'm expanded so I can expose that groove for the circlip. And I'm just going to slide that up and pop it into the groove. Doesn't have to be tight. So that's it. That's how you install one of the two-piece oil return tubes. Okay, there's my second one done. Okay, so I've done the easy side. This side is a lot harder to deal with, but it can still be done. Oh yeah, that one was our major failure right there. You can see how loose it is. That was our major leaking one. Almost down. Okay. It's in the groove. So that wraps it up for the oil return tubes. The side that has the heat exchangers on, definitely a lot more challenging. You got to really snake that pipe in there. Getting the circlip on is also a challenging event on the one pipe. You just no good way to get access to it. But this still beats the 20-something hours of stripping a cam box. That means timing chains out, cams out, rockers out to do this job. Definitely a bonus there. All right, so the last thing I'm going to do with our oil pipe change is just run the engine and make sure I don't have any leaks. I got a couple of spots I still want to wash down here. Now I'm back up in just to get the last remnants of that oil out of there. But so far everything looks good, looks clean and dry.